What's up, everybody? So I'm gonna do another video by Manning's request. Dude, the fuck, man? You keep giving me ideas. We're gonna talk about controlled op. Now, I jokingly made a video saying that I am controlled op and not listen to me. I've done all that, okay? Let me explain to you how this works. I'm gonna break this down real simple for you guys, okay? So here's what happens. Out of nowhere, the media, the political people, the pundits, will start shitting on someone, okay? Whether it be Alex Jones, whether it be Andrew Tate, whether it be Candace Owens. I know I'm just on one side of the political spectrum right now, but they do the same, for David Hogg, Okay, so here's what basically happens. They give them attention, okay? They build them up. They give them attention. And once you're famous, that's it, okay? There's no going back to being unfamous, as Dave Chappelle says. You could become infamous, but you can't be unfamous once people know your face, once you're a household name, okay? So what they do is, the news likes to bitch about people, right? They like to bitch about people. But what they do is they create something called the Streisand effect, okay? The Streisand effect comes from Barbra Streisand, okay? A while back, maybe 30, 40 years ago, someone published a book with like an overhead view of her home, right? It wasn't a book with that. It was just, that was one of the pictures, whether it was a book on Malibu or whatever. What happened is not a lot of people read it, but she got wind of it. She made a big deal out of it. Then everyone started looking at it. And that's what the media doesn't realize that they do, okay? They take these people who are not household names and they make them, even, they say no publicity is bad publicity. They give these people publicity and then they get mad that they end up with the platform from it, okay? It's a sick cycle that they can't do. The truth of the matter is that there's plenty of influencers online that do the same exact thing when they retweet people, okay? Suddenly these people get platforms or these people get attacked, okay? The best thing to do is to ignore someone, okay? There's people who have been ignored by mainstream, people like Bill Cooper who died. There are people who are ignored, okay? That's a telltale sign, usually, that someone's on the right way, okay? Or if they're silently killed, okay? You have to look at this, and to answer your question about controlled op, all right, Manning? To answer your question about controlled op, think about it like this. It's not what a person's saying, okay? It's not even the reaction. Alex Jones has a $1.4 billion judgment against him. They're starting to close down on his finances. Do you think that's controlled op? Okay? Because here's the thing. When you're in the truther realm, when you hit a certain level of popularity or a certain level of notoriety, every single person goes through that thing where they're like, is he controlled op? Okay? The truth of the matter is that if left to the truther community, everyone's controlled op and there'd be no one telling the truth. Okay? So they give these people platforms and then they use the platform and then the news gets annoyed that they use the platform. Okay? As far as controlled op goes, you can look at people like Isaac Cappy, who was suicided. You have to look at why certain people are allowed to live and why certain people are not. Okay? Look into the story of Michael Hastings. Okay? Look into that. Okay? This man was suicided. Okay? From his car, by the way. They have it on video. There's a lot to unpack. Okay? But the idea that someone's popular and telling truths, and there's always going to be a section of the truther community that thinks everything is fucking psyop, that everything is a giant controlled op, okay? And they think that they're cool and smarter because they think they're rebelling. They think that they're not buying into things. Like Alex Jones is an easy example because Jones is so popular and he's so big. But the question is, you got to look at them. Why are they trying to destroy him financially? You got to look at that. Okay? Andrew Tate, why did they take him off social media platforms? Okay? You got to look at that. I'm not here to tell you who's a truther or not. It's not what I'm trying to do. If this channel ever blows up, or if my books ever blow up, or if I'm starting to get bigger podcasts now for my work, if that ever blows up, there's going to be a section of the community that's like, oh, he's a Mason. Oh, his father and his grandfather were news producers. You know, oh my God. You know, I'm going to hear that, you know. That's why you got to get out in front of it. There's people that are in this community that are self-aware enough to get out in front of that before it just comes up randomly. I don't know if this answered the question, but I would strongly suggest, you know, people like Santos Bonacci, right, who I teach for. I teach for Santos. He has a YouTube channel. It's 250,000 people. Okay? Do you think the media ever talks about him? Do you think his work ever gets out there? In the mainstream sections? No, there's people with smaller channels that get the news bump and everything. Okay? So, a good way of telling is if you're popular, but you haven't crossed that level. Okay? So, I hope this answers a little bit. You feel free to ask more questions. I'm going to answer them the best way that I can. Thanks, guys.